one, it's time for me to spiritually minimize. Now, there's a section of my room that has been my Uguferi / Lwa shrine for quite a while, and it has fallen into disrepair as far as my interaction with it. Now, I'm going to keep the top of my desk right here, being basically a shrine to Papa Legba, but as far as my Uguferi, Zilidantor, and other Lwa shrine just right here, I'm going to spiritually minimize and pack it up. Now, it is better to pack up and reduce a shrine rather than not interact with it at all, which is what I've been doing. I haven't been interacting enough with the Lwa through this shrine, so I've decided to pack it up respectfully and keep the top parts, but pack up this part that I have not been interacting with. I've not been interacting with the Uguferi and the other Lwa as much as Papa Legba, and I've decided to try and do so respectfully. So let's go ahead and get started here. Of course, I have this box that I got from work that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be placing everything in that. But in the box, I'm going to spread this Pompe Lotion Cologne, which is an offering to Lwa a large majority of the time, not a large majority, but quite a bit of the time, Pompe Lotion is used in offering to the Lwa. So, le flick, mama now, le flick, papa now. Okay. One of the candles that I use for Uguferi, it is a Saint Martin Capolero candle, but a lot of the time a candle for this is a Catholic candle for Saint James is used for Uguferi, but I use this as a stand-in because I couldn't find the other. Put that on the side. Another candle for Uguferi, just a basic one now, and this one is actually burnt out, so I can safely throw this away. This offering bowl with the Om symbol on it, I'm actually going to keep out because I didn't dedicate it to any particular Lwa, so I'm actually going to keep that out. Clearing off the dust. There is some dust on all this. Unfortunately, I have not been keeping up with this part of the shrine. Offering jar for Uguferi. And then another corner of the box. Uguferi soldier. Going to be packing up as well. Le flick, mama now. Le flick, papa now. When se ve la. A dagger I dedicated to Uguferi. In this box as well. And now the action figure turned statue for Uguferi will be packing up. It's kind of a loss. It feels like a loss to pack it up, but it's better to pack it up than it is to leave a shrine uninteracted with. Uguferi. And the offerings for Uguferi, such as these cigars, I'm going to pack in here as well, because they're still his. So I'm going to pack cigars with the Uguferi in this box. More cigar. Usually when you're offering to a Lwa, you can actually smoke the cigar and blow the smoke towards the offering area, towards the veve. That's what many Vodou saints do in Vodou. Up in there as well. A sheet of kind of dedication to Uguferi. Song for Uguferi. Uguferi o, Uguferi o. Sakife yobwen bayo. La vie pao win. Saki fe yomala. Lesse san yo kale. Ugu fe lai o. Ugu fe lai o. Ugu fe lai o. Those who've done good to others, give them life for me. Those who've done bad to others, let their blood run down. Ugu fe lai o. A beaded necklace with a bronze veve for Ugu Ferai that I made quite a while ago. I'm going to be storing in the box. Cleaning it off a bit. Putting it around Ugu Ferai. Pocket knife that I dedicated to Ugu Ferai will also be going into the box. Blades are associated with Ugu Ferai a lot of the time, like many Lwa. And now I could repurpose some of these items, but I think that'd be a little bit more disrespectful than I'd like to do. A smaller beaded necklace. Some obsidian, which is a stone of protection that I had on Lwa I shrine that I would carry around sometimes. That's in here as well. Trying to spread out everything and not put it in one corner of the box. Try to make it kind of a proper storage mechanism. Velvet pouch that I stored the obsidian in. I respect you, and store this shrine not in neglect of you and our relationship or disrespect, but because I have been lax in my duties to you, Ugu Ferai. I think it would be better to pack all of this up and keep it in storage for now. A ring with a horse on it, kind of alluding to Ugu Ferai being a warrior, having his horse. Description sheet for Ugu Ferai. Ugu Ferai, who is associated with Saint Philip. This is one representation of Ugu Ferai. He is the patron of blacksmiths and metalworkers. Ugu Badagli is associated with Saint James the Major. He is said to be the Lwa of the Phallus. In the picture of Saint James the Major, the most commonly used, we would also see riding behind Saint James a knight in armor who is referred to as Ugu Ferai, as in chest. The color connected with this aspect of Ugu is red because he is a Lwa of war and fire. However, he is also known to be a healer who will show much concern for his own children. Clarion white rum is often poured out and then set afire as an offering to him. His symbol is a machete with a red scarf tied around the blade. Below the handle and other offerings would be red roosters, rice and red beans, cigars, bulls, and rams. Ugu represents the family of warrior spirits. Ugu Batale is the patron of surgeons and doctors. Ugu Baba represents the military general. Ugu Fer represents the Lwa of fire and war. Ugu La Flamble is, and the description goes on the back, describes all the different Ugus. So I'm storing this sheet in there as well. Now we have the red bandana that was basically the base of Ugu Ferai's shrine. You can see all the incense ash, and there's dust really on this. I can really smell the Pompeii lotion cologne and the incense ash, a little bit of cigar smell, and dust, of course. Going to wrap this up, or fold it up. Place it right in here. This voodoo doll, I can actually throw this in there as well. It was never really a good representation of what a voodoo doll is. It was just kind of just an addition and offering, really. It's not an actual real voodoo doll, but I put it there as kind of an offering, as a symbol. But I think I'll put it in the box as well. Another kind of prayer sheet. La flick mama now, la flick papa now, la flick C-O Kiwa. Africa is our mother. Africa is our father. Africa, it's you who are king. I have a dedication of the roots of it, really all people's roots in Africa. I can get into that in another video, but let me finish off. This is a veve I created for Uguferi a long time ago. So you can kind of see there's red ink, there's black ink, there's, you know, incense smoke, cigar smoke, and Pompeii lotion tossed upon it. But this is kind of what I use to represent Uguferi. It's a ceremonial ritual symbol. That's what a veve is, of Uguferi, representing the spirit in the now. And I'm going to retire this into the box as well. I'm going to leave some of the warrior symbols that I've created where they are. And then, since they've been next to each other for so long, I feel comfortable storing them in the same box. This is an offering jar for Ezili Dantor. She is a fierce warrior mother who I often saw as being very similar to Kalima. And she's often shown as holding a dagger and a baby as if to protect the baby. Not to hurt the baby, to protect it. And Ezili Dantor is usually considered a Petwa spirit, Petwa Lwa. I'm going to be storing this into the box as well. I'm going to be creating kind of her own corner in the box. Since I have limited resources and limited storage space, I feel comfortable doing this. This is a Ezili Dantor tile veve that I bought. And it's basically kind of a heart with some traditional kind of Vodou symbols and stylization around it. Put that in the box. This is a candle that I bought special that is for Ezili Dantor, or at least for, you know, has the Black Madonna on it. It's a Catholic candle, but it's often used as a symbol for Ezili Dantor. And it is Santa Barbara de Locumi Africana. Kind of see it? And we'll put it right in the corner here. The little offering for Ezili Dantor. Some pins for the Vodou doll. That's not really a Vodou doll, I just kind of added it to the shrine as a representation of one. You have to kind of make your own Vodou dolls, or you have to get one that somebody who's very specialized in making them in order to have a proper one. And a couple other things on the Vodou shrine over here. Most Vodalissants might not call it a shrine. This candle's almost burnt out. Doesn't have any veves on it, so I can throw it away. Alright, this is a knife that I engraved and put in a velvet pouch for Azili Dantor. I'm going to put that in her corner of this box. And of course, a unifying figure for the Lwa is Damballa, the serpent. A very peaceful and mellow, but vastly powerful Lwa. And this is Damballa's jar that I made for Damballa and his basic consort, the female half of him. You kind of see the Veve in there. And there's a few offerings like cinnamon and rose petals that if I open this jar, it basically give a blessing to me, but choose to leave it shut so that the blessing can sit in here in this box. Okay. This is a notebook that I had for the Lwa that I may keep over here. This is for Azili Dantor, so no, this is a notebook that I dedicated to her, so I will be storing it as well in her corner of the box. And there you have it. I'm going to be, well, this is Ugufela's bandana as well that I have here. That is burnt with some of his rum. Some of the little pieces are coming off of it. I'll put this right in his side. Alright, and whew. This is a hard one to give up as well, this symbol sheet, but this is a Veve that I made for Ugufela, and I think it has red ink and a small amount of my blood. Well, it might be 50-50 actually, but this is one that I created for Ugufela and dedicated to him. I will be storing that as well. And let's see what else we have. This is Ugufela's machete that I actually engraved for him. It has black paint on it, but I engraved it for Ugufela. You can kind of see his Veve at the top, and then a lot of symbols that allude to his nature and fighting basically chaos, which I represent as Cthulhu down there. So I hope that kind of conveys. And also on the whole rim that you're seeing here is basically braided etching, where I made the kind of like knotted braids that you might see in a lot of accessoires, either runestones or art. But I find a lot of overlap between certain gods and spirits, Lwa, so I tend to represent that in the iconography that I make and dedicate to them. But this machete, I'm going to leave it here for Ugufela as a kind of shrine piece that I can offer to him upon, so that he's never really far from my understanding and my thought of him and his relation to me and the world, both to offer to him and ask for blessings from him. So this is basically the end of the video. I'm going to keep out this Pompeii lotion because I use it for other Lwa offerings. But basically this part of my shrine has been cleared off. I hope that you found this interesting, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the box, or how about I just shoot up an image, a picture of the box right here, what it looks like stored. I'll put it right here, and you know, this is kind of a personal thing. I hope that you found it interesting, and I hope that, you know, if you're Vodou, that you were happy with how I respected each item and placed them in the box. And, you know, I didn't do it as per ceremony, as a lot of my Vodou practices are not ceremonial. They're very more like kind of grassroots magic. So everything that I do is kind of like my own thing. So I apologize for anybody who thinks this should be more ceremonial, but I hope that, you know, you would share your own experiences with packing up your own shrines. If you ever did that, in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up down there. And I hope all of y'all have a great day. And do not forget that I am on Patreon. Just $1 a month will get you videos I do not share on YouTube. And videos that are usually spiritual but very personal. This one's personal. I was thinking about sharing it on just Patreon, but I decided to share it on YouTube. So go to my Patreon page and just pay $1 a month and you can get access to all those videos. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day. Mwen sevi Loa.